What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be unboxing the Lewin Resources M-01 Iron Fortress, or their version of a Masterpiece Scale Metroplex. Masterpiece Scale, you can't really make a Masterpiece Scale, but it's the biggest Metroplex ever made. Now, first, before we get started, big shout out to Alan L. and the Transformers Underground group on Facebook. Thanks to Tim R., who shipped this to me on behalf of Alan. This is actually Alan's. He won it in a game in the Transformers Underground group. If you're interested, you can check out that group. They have cool raffles and stuff like that. And I actually also entered this game. I didn't win, obviously. But thanks to Alan for allowing me to take a look at his copy. I am going to hand transport this to him so that he can enjoy it at home. But first, we're going to get it unboxed. There's 3 parts to it here. There's actually 4 parts. I only have 3 parts with me right now. The 4th part's coming tomorrow. That'll be the head. So we'll do an unboxing for that too. It's a smaller box. But these 3 boxes contain the legs, torso, and arms. I did peek in here just to see which box to start with. This is the legs. So we're going to start with this because it has the instructions in it. Then we'll open up the torso, and then we'll open up the arms. I did have to check the rating of this table right here. This table is rated for 300 pounds. This figure is 88 pounds. So pretty heavy, human weight. So, I just want to make sure this is going to support it. I will come in closer. I just wanted to give you a look at how big these freaking boxes are. But we'll get in close. I'll do one at a time. And then we'll go through all 3 boxes, put it together. And then tomorrow, or whenever I get the next box, we'll put the head together. And we'll do a full review once we get it all. So let's get started. Let's start off with this number 3 right here. Alright, so let's get box number 3 open. And I put that camera strategically so you can see a top-down view of what's in here. So this one contains the instructions, which is the reason I opened it first. We have some bolts. Looks like a giant Allen wrench. And then 3 or 4 longer bolts. These are like really heavy duty bolts. Feels like you're putting together a play set or something. Alright, then we get the instructions, which it looks like it's a single sheet in this Ziploc bag. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's a single sheet, so I'm just going to leave it in there. I'll show it to you. So it does show you how to put it together. Starts with the torso and the legs, although not the clearest instructions, but it also goes through transformation. It looks like it needs button battery, CR 2023, which I actually happen to have, and then also CR 1220, which I'll try to get for the review, and then another CR 1220, so I'll try to get that. Those are for the fingers. All right. So that's really it for that. Let's set that aside. And let's see what we got here. And like I mentioned, I only peeked in this box to see if it had the instructions. Alright, so here we got the legs. My God, it's huge. So here's my hand for size comparison. So let's get these out of here. I'm going to set them on the table on the side right here. And then we'll get the box out of here. Alright, before we go on, here are the legs. Absolutely crazy. It feels very robust. It's like really thick, solid plastic everywhere. Don't see any die cast, but I mean, it feels very sturdy all throughout. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's crazy. All right, well, let's get the next box, and I'm going to put these off the table. We'll bring the next box up here and get those unpacked. All right, now we'll move on to box number 1, which is the torso. And again, I haven't opened this. I just cut the seal. It's like 1,000 guns. Oh, I think these are the railings for that back. Are these die cast? think these might be die cast or at least aluminum, painted aluminum. They feel really, really sturdy. I guess it should, right? You got a ton of these little cannons, so these looks like they rotate. I want to get all the styrofoam off of these, but that's pretty cool. That's a lot of freaking cannons. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 cannons here. This thing. Is 10 cannons enough? I don't know. Alright. I'm just setting them on the side there. Alright, let's see what's in here. So we got the torso. And I know your angle is a little hard to see. So I'll just show you what's in here. Big honking torso. So let's get this out of here. This is pretty heavy on its own. Alright, so here's your torso. Everything is just so ridiculous, but pretty crazy. It feels like there's die cast, but it's really just very thick, solid plastic. So yeah, I'm not sure if there is die cast. Either way, it's very, very hefty, very sturdy feeling. Here's the back. So yeah, so let's move on to the next box. We got all of this stuff out of here. Alright, here's the last box. This should have the arms and maybe some other weapons in it, I think. So let's see what we got. This is definitely a workout. Yeah, so we get the arms. And I'll just show you what it looks like. So in the center we have, oh, this is for the chest. So you got the center chest light up thing. Let's get that out of here. And we got the arms. Get this out. Alright, we also have, looks like some insert pieces. I'll have to figure out where these go. I'm going to guess somewhere on the arms, but looks like this. And I think that's it for this tray, so let's look underneath. Okay, and here we have the guns. So let's get this out of here. They're human sized. I mean, look at this. It's crazy. Yeah, that's intense. Alright, so here are the arms. Really crazy. The hand is it really is about as big as my hand. A little bit smaller. The finger's a little smaller, but really crazy. I know I keep saying the word crazy, but it just is. Lots of nice detail on there. You got the little smokestack exhaust pipes, whatever they are. Nice tight joints. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're ready to go here. We have everything laid out. I just wanted to show you before I start putting this together. There's the arms and the guns. There's this center chest piece, which I'm going to put a battery in that one. There are the railings for the back part there. These bolts, the chest, and the legs, and then down here we got the cannons. I'm going to take all this off of here and we're going to assemble it. I just wanted to show you, I mean, it is crazy how much stuff there is here. Alright, let's start by prepping the leg. I'm just going to do one side. I'll do the other one off camera. But you're basically going to lift up this, and I recommend a spudger to get in here and just pop this panel out. So that slides out. You can see it's got two little slots and two little pegs here. And you're going to take the leg. This is a pretty hefty duty plastic. I'm not sure if it's solid plastic, but it feels pretty heavy duty. You're going to put this in here, and then you're going to take these longer bolts, and those are going to go through, and then you got to screw them in. They're actually going all the way through this plastic piece into the other side and bolting into that side. They do give you an Allen wrench to screw it in, and I'll spare you me screwing this in part, but once you do that, then we can move on. And then put this cover back on and all set. So I'll go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll get him stood up. Alright, so here it is, assembled with the legs, and it's massive. I was able to lift it myself, so it's not undoable. As an adult, you can lift the weight. Once I put the arms on, it might be a little bit too heavy. I actually asked for help from my family, from my wife, but she's busy. So I'm going to continue. I'll probably take it off this table. This is 88 pounds fully assembled, so I'm not worried that the table will hold it. It just is a lot of weight to have up high. But for assembly purposes, I wanted it this high so I could easily access the bolts and get things done. So for the arms, here's what it looks like. And this little piece right here is where we're attaching. As you can see on the bottom, there's 2 holes for the bolts. So this is going to attach right here. And actually, I'm going to rotate it before we do that, so we have the arm in the right configuration. So you want the elbow obviously facing forward. Then we want the hand, facing this way. So we have something like this. And then we get this in here and slide that in. And you kind of have to hold it. You can't leave it there. Like the legs, they sort of hold in, but these you have to hold them. And then you're going to get the bolts in here. And I'm just going to hand tighten them for now, and then we'll tighten them with the Allen wrench. There's 2 for each one. Alright, so there you go. And as I mentioned, don't over tighten those. It is plastic into plastic. So there is a metal receiver inside, but you don't want to over tighten it. So I have it just hand tight, as tight as I could get it with this. So I'll go ahead and do the other side. I just wanted to show you one. Alright, there it is assembled, and really impressive. But next we're going to put these on. I'll probably take this off just so when I remove it from the table, and I want to show you, these just plug in right here. They're pretty secure in there, but it's a lot of weight. We also have these, which I'll do now. So these are the little cannons. You can rotate them. So these plug in lots of different places. So I'm just going to get them all plugged in. You'll see as we do them, but 2 in each arm on the front and the back. And again, if you don't want these, you don't have to put them on. So there's 2 spots, and it's going to be hard to show you, so I'm going to go freehand here. So you can see there's 2 spots right here and right here for 4 more cannons. So we'll get those on there as well. Alright, and the last 2 cannons we're going to put right here on the knees. And like I already mentioned, you don't have to put these on if you don't like them. Alright, so here's the back of it. I turn it around. It is very heavy at this point. So lifting it off of here will be a little bit of a challenge for me. But this back plate actually fits in right here. So I was mistaken earlier. You're going to take these cannons and put them in here. And again, you don't have to have this part. If you don't want it, you can install it without it. But this little armature is where we're going to put those little gate pieces. So those will fit right on there. And it makes kind of like a little platform. So if you want characters on here, you can do that. I do think that's pretty cool that they included that. Put one here. I think it makes more sense here in the middle. But either way, you could do something like that. This piece will plug back in where I showed you those 2 cannons go. So just get that. And they came with this installed, so there you go. So there's that back plate. Alright, here he is in all of his glory. And what a workout. I actually had to switch to a t-shirt. And shout out to Reflector Files. He designs these t-shirts. I did actually talk to him because I wasn't sure what these extra pieces are for. And here's the center chest piece, which I haven't put in yet, so we're going to do that now. But if you take off these are actually replacement pegs. And at first I was like, what's the difference? But if you put this in, the original, it's a little bit on the loose side. It doesn't quite sit there firmly. So if you swap them out with these other ones, and you can tell the difference because they have a little ridge right here on the edge. So they look a little bit different, slightly different. Then you have this. Now you can put it in and it fits nice and secure. Before we put that in there though, if you take off this cover, just wiggle that off, you'll see on this side there's a spot for battery. So this is a CR2032. I happen to have a bunch of these lying around, so thank goodness for that. And just get those battery in there and then close up the cover. And it is magnetically enabled. Make sure you get the flat sides on the sides where you have those two pegs. And then if you bring in a magnet, it lights up, very bright. Hit it again, it'll do pulsation. And then if you hit it again, you'll get this spinning thing, which is very, very cool. So I like that. So we'll put that in his chest. That kind of completes his look. And yeah, pretty impressive. Here's the gun. So you can put these in the shoulders. Before I do that, I just want to show you, if you fold this handle down, it's big enough for me to hold it like a real gun. It's really quite insane. But let's fold that back down. All right, and the gun also has a battery operated part to it. So if you remove this front cover, and everything's kind of tight, so it takes a little bit of elbow grease. But take off this cover, and then we're going to remove this. You're going to push from here. So push out that little center piece. And then we're going to lift up on these two pieces. Don't hold on these little tabs. I recommend you hold on the other part and then push up to release this little plastic cover. It's tricky to get off there, to be honest. And it doesn't feel very sturdy. So here's the battery compartment. So you need CR1220s. I actually do have them, but I think they're dead. So for the review, I will get the batteries in there. But I just put that back in, put the cover back on here, and then place this back in here, and then reassemble the gun. And then we're going to plug it in. There's the peg right here. It's going to go into the side of the shoulders. So I recommend holding this arm as you get this in. It's a tight fit, and it weighs the arm down. So I don't love how it changes the weight. It also puts a lot of weight up top. And I've noticed if you leave these in here and you try to balance him, he stands up fine. I mean, he's not falling down, but he definitely is able to lean. So I'm not sure if I would leave him like this, you know, with the guns plugged in, standing up. I'd probably take the guns out just to reduce the weight. There's also weight on the arms here, and that does worry me. I don't think I would articulate the arms. And we're not going to do articulation today because we're going to do that in a separate video. We still don't have the head, by the way. All right, and just as I was saying, I don't have the head yet. It arrived on my doorstep. So we're going to unbox it. All of the boxes are like this. They're just nondescript. It just says M-01. This one says top on it. Really doesn't say much. So let's get it open. This comes in a foam packaging, so I'll just take the whole thing out. So here it comes packed. Okay, that's bigger than I thought. That head is pretty big. Not a huge fan of the ears. I think that's what's a turnoff to me, but look at that. Gorgeous. It is painted. It's got like, you know, a damaged eye and a crack there. Silver paint. Pretty cool. It does look cool. We also have alternate faces, which I definitely prefer personally. So we got this, kind of a more straight face. And then we've got this one, kind of an angry, upset face. You know, you can see his eyebrows are a little more tweaked. And what do we have? Something else in here. Oh, this is the magnet. Okay, so that's what I was looking for before. I couldn't find the magnet, and that's because it was in here. This is very heavy. It feels like lead. It's like, but there's a nice little card and a magnet. I'm going to put it back in here because I don't need it to be out of here to work. But I think we can put the battery in here. So let's see. Which face do we want to use? We'll probably use just a straight face. I don't have enough batteries for everything, but I have enough to put at least one battery in. So you're welcome, Alan. You're getting a couple free batteries. So it looks like the same CR2032 that we used for the chest. So thankfully I have a bunch of those. So put that in, and then we'll put the cover back on. Excited to see what this looks like. All right, and then we'll use the magnet that you just gave us. Look at that. Does it turn off? Oh, then it's got a pulsation mode. So I'd imagine it eventually turns off. Oh, okay, there it goes. It turns off. So very, very nice. Let's see, how do we change out the face? We can unpeg this from here. All right. That was a little messy, but there we go. It just pegs right on. Yeah, pretty cool. It's very impressive. Let's get this on the figure. All right, we're back in front of this guy, and now we have the head. So we're ready to complete it. It has a little attachment point like this, so that tells me you probably can't take it out once you put it in. I'm not sure how tight it is. It looks like kind of a more permanent tabbing, so we'll see. But this is going to fit right into here. It just pegs in. Yeah, that's pretty locked in there, so I'm not sure if you'll ever be able to take this out. I don't think you can. Honestly, I think that's there permanently. So yeah, that's going to be interesting for transportation purposes. I'm not sure I'm going to bring this over to Alan, but really, really cool. I did take off the shoulder cannons. Let's get in for a closer look, and I'll give you a little tour around this guy before we get out of here. Here is the newly placed head, and let's use the magnet. And we'll turn it on. Pretty cool. We'll turn this on too. Back here we've got the little railing. I did put this Dr. Wu Metroplex. This is from Dr. Diecast. He allowed me to review this. He fits nicely back here. I mean, that's to give you a scale of how big this is. I mean, he doesn't even show up. But there's the chest. There's the abdomen, there's the crotch, legs, and the feet. He's got pretty big feet. It is kind of larger legs compared to the rest of the body. So his proportions are a little bit different. I do feel the head could have stood to be a little bit bigger. But coming to the back, we've got the arms. And I'm sorry about the lighting back here. It's a little bit dark. Hopefully you can see, but here's that railing, that same railing. And we've got some kind of boosters or whatever Here we have a little turbine. And then here's the back of the legs. More boosters, stuff like that. It really is cool. So that's it for the unboxing. Shout out once again to Alan Lee and Tim R. from the Transformers Underground group. I'll put a link in the description so you can check them out. Stay tuned for the review. We'll go through all the articulation, the weapons, features. Although we've gone over some of it, we'll go into depth. I'm pretty tired after all of this, so going to need a little break and then we'll do another video. So stay tuned for the review and we'll see you then.